Hi, garage doors are open, lovely day down here, sun's coming in, going up and down, so you have to excuse if there's a change in exposure. Now why the gloves? Simple, you know, product shots. Product shots, you have to wear gloves. We've got some products being sent from the States and they want to know how to photograph their products, so I'll do a little film on it. Now, as I said, they were sent from the States. We've got small knives, we've got big knives, super quality knives made by Crown Cutlery in the States. Hunting knives, these are all handmade, wonderful. Now, how do we go about photographing them? Well, I'll show you. Oh, just one more thing before I forget. If you're Rolex or Breitling or Goldsmith or Diamond Merchant, don't hesitate to send me your products. I'll do a little film. Anyway, let's get on. Now, why am I here on the floor? Well, it's very simple. It's not very comfortable, but I've got it on a low table. Now, you'll see it's on a low table. Why have I put it on a low table? To get it off the floor. Why do I want it off the floor? Because that way I can reflect light from underneath. Now I'm just looking into the camera to try and show it. This is only the video lights, of course, it's not the final lighting. But I can reflect up. Now I wouldn't be able to reflect anything up if it was on the floor, would I? So always keep your still life off the table. Has another advantage, if you're shooting from above, of course, is that you don't have to stand on a wibbly wobbly ladder or anything. So that's one tip. Always keep things low. Now, why have I chosen wood? Well, I've chosen wood. I had the choice, wood, stone, anything that's natural. Nice background for the knife. Now, of course, this isn't the camera angle I'm showing you. The camera is up here. So we'll have a look through that and I'll show you how I'm going to go about lighting. Now, the thing is with this, you're going to have to bear with me, we're shooting video light at the moment, but I'm going to be shooting this with flashlight, but only the modelling light's on, so you'll be able to see. Eventually I'll be exposing it with the flash, of course. Now this is a little snoot, so it's going to be very difficult to show you with this camera. I'm going to have to up the ISO a lot on this to be able to show you what's happening directly through the camera. So basically I'll explain. The knife is at a nice angle that reflects this nice white background. Now, as I light the background with the snoot, the light will bounce back into the blade. So that's going to be the basis of my lighting. Now, as I said, we're in very, very low light. So I'll show you, this is the angle we're using, as you see. Now I'm going to move this light very slightly right and left. And you'll see what it does if I move it up and down as well. Now that is going to be the basic way of lighting the blade, and only the blade. Then I can light the handle and all the rest. So that is quite a nice demonstration of how light reflects by quite a small movement of the light. Now what you've just seen is this light moving backwards and forwards, just to make it clear that is on the background, reflecting back into the blade. Now we've got to light the rest. So how are we going to light the handle without affecting the blade? Well, I'll show you. This is what we're going to do. Now we're back to the video lights. So this isn't, it's a general light I'm showing, but I need the general light to be able to show you. I've just added one light here. And I was going to do something very complicated with tracing paper and but in the end, I thought that was a nice light. It gives a super light on the handle. So why complicate things? I just moved it up and down to see which I preferred, and right to left. I tell you what, I'll show you all that through the camera with the right lights. So this is basically what it does. Let's have a look at it with the light off. So that's the big change. And then if I move it right and left and raise it up and down, then we get quite a nice light. So why not just leave it like that? Now I've changed the snoot for a wider light. because I wanted in the end to have the blade completely white, because then by holding a card in front, I can change, or I can make a reflection in the braid as I want. Now, you'll notice that that's up there, and the reflection is looking a little bit grey. Well, if I bring the reflector much closer to the blade, it becomes a lot darker and more controllable. So that's beginning to look nice. Now, most people would bring out the name in the blade by making it white. Well, look, it's even coming out like that. So I can change that reflection as I want. Along the edge of the blade, along the top of the blade, my hand's in the image as well. So it's all down to experimentation and personal taste. And this is what is fascinating about this type of photography. Well, I find it fascinating anyway. Now, what I've done is I've put this little reflector that's held on a little stand. I'll show you the stand later because they're quite good. I've put it on so it's just reflecting nicely. Now, maybe we should look at that through the camera, and I'll show you what little movements can make a big difference. Now, this is as it is at the moment. I rather like that quite nice reflection, but it just, as you see, a tiny little movement of that card changes it totally. So that's what's great fun. So anyway, that's where I've got it at the moment. And I like it really because it shows very nicely the little crown that's there and the name. Now, don't forget that I can change the intensity of the light on the blade to show the name more or less without affecting the rest of the image, because the blade is the only thing that is lit by the large light on the background. You know what this is, don't you? It's a bathroom mirror. It reflects beautifully the light. Oh, can I get the reflector there? Ooh. Reflects beautifully the light, two different sides, one flat, one convex. See, so a different reflection. Really good, costs nothing. Well worthwhile getting a few of these. Now, what I'm going to do with it, I'm going to put it on the floor, I'm going to reflect back up into the leather piece of the knife, or the leather holder, sheath, whatever you like to call it. So we'll have a look at that, and I'll show you. Well, this is what I've got. I've got it on the floor, next to the table, just under the camera, as you can see. And I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to work it up and down onto the subject. Let's have a look through the camera, see what it does. Right, now let's have a look. If we do it like that, oh, that's not really bright enough, is it? Let's put it on the convex side, and let's get, now I can place that beautifully. Really bringing out, and I can bring a bit into the handle as well, look at that. Really good. Okay, I'll set that, and then I'll do the final shot and show you. Right, now as you'll see, it's a nice picture that's well lit, but the blade is a little bit scratched. Well, that's because they sent me an ex-demo model. It's been in exhibitions, etc. So normally it just shows that you have to have a perfect product to get a perfect picture. But we can retouch that. I haven't done it here, but we will do in a real situation. I'll be doing another video very soon with the smaller knives, and I'll go in a lot closer. We'll try and do some macro stuff, really get some nice reflections in those small knives. Well, I hope that's going to help you with your metal shots, and I hope it'll give you another thought about still life photography. Now, I want to thank Queen Cutlery for sending me the knives, and I hope they've learned something, because that's what the whole object was. I said Crown Cutlery in the entry, but don't worry about that, it's Queen Cutlery. Now, one more thing, don't forget to subscribe if you've enjoyed it. Also, why not upload some shots onto itchyphoto.com? That way I can look at them and I can give you a little bit of critique. So it's itchyphoto.com in one word, as you see down there. McCordall.com, that's also got a lot of stuff interesting on it, down there. So, see you soon. Cheers!